Hello fellow petrol heads, welcome to Jay's Motor World. Today I'll be doing a review of my 2019 Ford Ranger Wildtrak. In this video I'll be doing a bit of a background on the Wildtrak. We'll do an exterior walk around, an interior review, take it out for a drive, and I'll tell you guys what it's been like to live with the last 5 years or so. Stay tuned. The Wildtrak name first appeared on the 2009 Ranger that came to South Africa, on that double cab version. So enhancements were basically you had a whole exterior body kit difference, different rims, mainly majority was a different styling pack compared to your normal double cab at that time. You had Wildtrak stickers everywhere. I'll put a picture up on the screen now of what that one looked like. And at that time it was also, just a very nice looking vehicle. It looked very different to your normal double cab Ranger. Majority of the changes were cosmetic. At that time, the double cab segment was still very agricultural, put it that way. In 2011, 2012, that's when the T6 Ranger came to our shores. It was a drastic departure, appearance-wise, refinement-wise. It did look much more American than the previous version, and that's when the South African market and the South African buyers started taking to your Ranger. It was a very good-looking vehicle. Good-looking interior was very well put together as well, and you had your major refinement difference over your previous generation. In 2015 that came the T7. That's basically what this one here is based on. That one there had a major exterior overhaul, interior overhaul. That's when also Ford introduced your sync system, so your screen and everything inside the vehicle looked very different from the previous generation, which just had a small screen for your infotainment. Here you had now a bigger touch screen, and everything was you'd walk it through the system like that. It also brought with all your safety features. Your Ranger, the Wildtrak, had segment first features like radar cruise control, lane departure warning, pedestrian detection. There's also a system where with that pedestrian and imminent accident detection, it actually preloads your brakes. So the moment you touch the brakes, it's like it slams on full. So it prevents it. It happened to me a few times already, so it prevented me from accidents. In 2019, that when came this update. With this update in 2009, we had a different looking front grille section compared to the previous shape. The Wildtrak had a different shade of orange compared to the T7. It also came with your HID lights and your LED daytime running lights, as well as LED fog lights. The interior, you had a different shade. The previous T7 had your grey and black, even now your T8 is fully black interior. The T8 also brought along a new engine, the 2-liter bi-turbo 10-speed automatic. My specific one is still the tried and tested 3.26 auto. The specific engine has 147 kilowatts, 470 newton meters, and your bi-turbo had 154 kilowatts and 500 newton meters. It was obviously a much newer, more advanced engine with much better efficiency than my specific one. Although that being a 4-cylinder and this being a 5-cylinder, the 5-cylinder just has a bit more character in terms of the sound. So we'll take it out for a drive, and then I'll tell you guys what it's been like to live with. The T8 also introduced your Ranger Raptor with the same 2-liter bi-turbo engine that I just mentioned. So that's a bit of a background on the Wildtrak. Okay, let's do the exterior walk around. So the Wildtrak came with your 18-inch mags. Believe it or not, these tires are still my original tires. 107,000 kilometers later, these Continental Cross Contact LX, they've just been a very good, durable, comfortable tire. I had a few times there's punctures, but I've plugged it up over the years. Your Wildtrak came with your side sail, different color door handles, side steps, roof rails along the side here, side mirror also in a different color, indicator, 3.2 badging in the side. Let's walk around to the front. You've got your HID lights here with your daytime running lights, LED fog lights. My specific vehicle, I fitted a nudge bar, changed the badge from blue to black just so that the look is more streamlined. Come around the side. Okay. On mine I've also fitted these sketch racks for loading purposes. I've also fitted a security lid. My specific security lid is actually a 212 that I've had adapted to fit on the T8. Okay, it's locked there. I'll open that for you guys and just show you what the inside looks like. I've fitted these side trim plates on the lights. Also here, this boot trim. On my specific vehicle, I did have an issue about 20,000 kilometers in. My fuel tank housing, I think it's just there if you can see it where I'm pointing to there, actually came out. I don't know how. I never went over anything rough or did some hard off-roading, but it was like almost like the fuel tank was sitting on the floor. I had to get that fixed. Ford fixed it. They charged me 6,500 to fix it. Didn't come off any warranty. Apart from that, that's the only issues I have had on the exterior of the vehicle. Apart from that, everything's been very good to live with. I'm just gonna get the keys so that I can open the back and show you guys the tailgate and the load area. Okay, so my security lid is the conventional lock unlock with the key. Push it back. So Wildtrak came with your assisted tailgate, so it makes it an easy lift tailgate, let's call it that. So basically very easy. You can one finger up down, one finger up down. Very easy to open and close, as you can see. In the back, so in my vehicle I've got this bed divider that I've fitted. The Wildtrak also came with your liner as standard as well. In the back as well, we've got these tie down hooks. This system, actually you can move it forward and backwards. It's a sliding system that makes it easier for you to adjust your loads. And then there's also a 12-volt socket in the back. There's also a 12-volt socket there in the back. Welcome to the interior of the Wildtrak. So initial impressions, the perceived build quality is very good for a double cab. Yes, there are a lot of hard plastics, here and there, but they're good quality hard plastics, not the cheap and nasty kind of plastics. One disclaimer though, at the bottom here, where just by your thigh area, I do pick up quite a few scratches here, mainly because of my watch. Every time I reach down to get something in the door pocket, I do end up scratching this plastic, but it's not even in view. Apart from that, like this part here is a bit hard, so I did end up getting myself one of these armrests just so that it can cushion on this part. But apart from that, everything else feels nice. I mean, you've got this soft touch leatherette dashboard. The armrest is nice and soft as well. The cushioning is quite nice on this armrest as well. The doors armrest, you also got nice cushioning here as well. Leather steering wheel, and it's all complemented nicely with this orange stitching that you can see, and that's exclusive to the Wildtrak as well. So let me give you a rundown of the features. Basically, from coming up here, you've got lighting in your vanity mirror, and one of the best features which I like of this vehicle is this. The sun visor moves. So I mean, even though I sit quite far back, I'm covered here. Got that. There's a place for sunglasses holder, reading lights. The actual feel of the indicator stock is like, it feels of such good quality, and you know, there's a good weighting to it. It's easy to reach, especially since it's on your right side. You know, you don't have to take your left hand and go interfere with the indicator stock. It's here, and it has a good solid thud to it each time. Yeah, the other good feature that I want to mention, and I know this feature here with the sliding sun visor is not on the new shape Wildtrak. And then in here I've got a cooled glove box, so it's quite a good size as well. I mean, okay, I have some bottles in. Let's count how many I actually have here. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've managed to fit four bottles in here, and they even still feel cool from this morning's drive. Okay, there's that, and then there's also a smaller space above that that you can put smaller items. I've just got a CD and some other things here. You've got 2 cup holders, and these cup holders also have teeth in here, so you know there's no moving around. It keeps your cup and your drink sturdy, and it's also got a rubber bottom. In front here there's space here for where you put your USBs, and then also a storage area. I just normally keep my phone there. Yeah, and then we've got heated seats for the passenger and the driver, 3 stages of heated seats. I just put this like a fighter jet add-on onto my specific one, where I got the start stop button. Yeah, apart from that, everything's been working in the vehicle. I don't think I've ever had a problem with any of the interior. No problem with the buttons, the functioning. I've never had my aircon regassed, and every single day I keep my aircon on, and I keep it on the recirculate. But the aircon is constantly on. When the vehicle is on, my aircon is on. And it keeps me cool, and I've never had a problem in that sense. I've never had any electrical niggles or problems. There are times when the sensor in front for your pedestrian detection and your you know, the vehicle has automatic the braking if it detects there's an imminent accident. There are times when that gets dirty, and the vehicle will say a certain safety system is disabled because of that. Yeah, apart from that, I'll show you guys how the infotainment and dashboard look from a different point of view. Yeah, and I think that will cover my experience from here. But yeah, I've just had a very good experience with the Wildtrak from day one. Oh, we have electric seats for the driver, but manual for the passenger. So it's quite a good range of adjustment. You got, you know, up, down, fore, aft. I can also adjust the tilt on the seat, you know, for my thigh support. And we have lumbar support, a manual lumbar support, which does also help. The passenger seat, unfortunately, can just go back, forwards, and then adjust your backrest. Apart from that's about it. I've got electrochromatic rear view mirror. That helps a lot at night, especially if there's like a truck behind you, for example. Yeah, cool. Hey guys, okay, so this is from the driver's point of view. I'm just going to take you through the interior features and the infotainment. So we'll start here by the door. So basically your window controls, you've got auto up and down for the driver only, then the normal electric windows for the back seat. You got lock unlock button on the doors. You have it on both sides as well, so yeah, very convenient. The side here you have your controls for your mirrors. You can adjust it there, and then this button here you can fold it manually. It's not an automatic folding. Here you got your light controls. So I leave mine on automatic either way, and then this one here controls your you can lift your headlights up or down, fog lights, front and rear. This light here is for the bed. It's a bed light, so at night you can switch that light on or off. It does come on automatically when you're interfering in the back in the load bay. Okay, let's do the infotainment. So the nice feature of the Wildtrak, it comes with these 2 screens on either side. I feel for its day and age, it was a fairly advanced feature. So on this screen here, that is controlled by this controls here. So I'll just show you. So basically here you can toggle through menus. You've got like a electronic rev gauge. These are the menus, the different menus, tire pressures, speedo, and then your fuel range. Then you can also do all your settings through here as well. You've got your analog speedometer on this side here. Those ones are controlled by your other ones on this side. So here it's basically just your audio control and your phone. That's all that the screen here basically does. Okay, let me show you guys the infotainment. This is Ford Sync 3 system. I mean, the resolution is good enough. Obviously now your new shape ranges, you have a whole, literally like a whole large tablet in the middle. But I mean, this one here, it's a good size. Your audio, you can also go through your climate here, phone, different menu. Then this one has inbuilt satellite navigation. You can access some apps and some more vehicle settings through here. One of the things, the standard I want to show you on here is I've got like an ambient light. An ambient light where I've got a selection of these colors. And basically what it does is it changes the light. There's an LED underneath here and one on both sides of the handles there. So that's quite a neat feature. Okay, I'm just going to plug my phone in and then we can see what the Android Auto looks like. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so I've plugged in my phone and you can see it immediately goes to the Android Auto menu. And as you can see, it goes straight to the Android Auto. You can extend the maps there. Bring it low again. You can have it split screen. Go back here. This is the normal menu. Then you can go back to Ford. I mean, it's fairly responsive. Responsive that you need. I mean, enough. Okay. Then go to the center here. So over here, I still have a CD player. So I've got a CD player, USB and Bluetooth. I've got enough options here for my infotainment. Manual volume knob, tune knob. Yeah, I've got heated seats for the driver and passenger. Let me just put the ignition on. Ignition went off. Okay. I think these will come on. I think these heated seats only come on when the car is switched on. Then you have, physical controls for your climate control, and a feature that is also Wildtrak exclusive is this. It's a heated windshield. At the bottom here, I've got two USBs. One controls your Android Auto. The other one you can use for audio as well. Then park assist. This is for your park distance control. Front and rear. I keep my front one off because then sometimes it just goes off when people walk in front of the vehicle. It's got a park assist. So this park assist, after I press that button, let me show you guys again. Press that button, it's a parallel park assist feature. The vehicle can help park into parallel parkings. You just modulate the throttle, the vehicle does the steering for you. It's got a rear diff lock and traction control button. And then your gear knob. Yeah, you got your park, reverse, neutral, drive, manual and sport mode. Yeah, and then that's about it for your infotainment review. On the steering wheel you have your controls, as I mentioned earlier, for the screen, but here you also have your cruise control functions. Here you can change it from having a normal cruise control to adaptive cruise control, your speed, your distance. On the other side you've got your volume control. This is for your voice control, and then your track, answer phone, drop call. Here's another shot of the interior. I just want to show you guys from here what I always think is just a quality feature in a vehicle is when it has a damped glove box. Check this. So given a few times after this, maybe after the first and second services, the guys forget to put, there's a cable actually underneath here that connects the the cubby to the dashboard, and then that actually is the whole damping system. And then there's times when they forget to put that, and then I would open this thing just after service, poop, and the thing would just drop. But now obviously you figure these things out as you go along. So this is the back seat of the Wildtrak. So as you can see, I have a baby seat here, quite a big one. This particular baby seat is not with the ISOFIX, but the other ones do fit with the ISOFIX there. It's fairly easy to get into, but whatever backing you have here on the seats, they do end up actually putting an imprint there. But I think if you take that out, it will sort it out over time. Still have enough space here between the passenger and the back compartment here. I'll show you guys what it looks like when I sit at the back in my own driving position there. So welcome to the back seat of the Wildtrak. As you can see, I have ample knee room, ample headroom. I'm not the tallest person, I'm only 1.7 meters, but this is in my driving position, and I mean, I'd be comfortable here on a long trip. I've even got ample tow room. At the back here, yes, you have the same hard plastics that you have up front, but I do have a padded armrest, electric windows. I've got a power point, 12 volt. There's no climate vents at the back here. They corrected that when they launched the new shape Ranger, at least, because yeah, that's one thing I wouldn't be able to survive without. The back also got an armrest, 2 cup holders. You got a proper seat belt here, ISOFIX both sides like I've mentioned, and yeah, the same nice leather quality that you have up front. Let me show you guys the underneath of the seat. So underneath the seat, if you just pull this latch up here, you got space for your jack and your tools, and then just another storage space here. This comes up in one piece, so it's not as versatile as I'll have to take the baby seat out if I want to access the tools underneath. Yeah, that's basically your back seat. Okay guys, welcome to the driving impression of the Wildtrak. NVH levels in the vehicle are very, very low. As you can hear, there's not much road noise, tire noise. I did have an issue when I changed my windscreen though. When they put it back, the new one back, they didn't seal the sides properly, so there's a bit of air noise that comes at high speeds, which I didn't have on the original windshield. Apart from that, you know, the vehicle is just very nice to drive. It's, you know, apart from that, the vehicle is very nice to drive. I love driving this thing daily. The 6-speed gearbox is smooth, there's ample power. I don't really have to take the car above 2,500 RPM on, you know, you can cruise at 120 kilometers. You can cruise at 120 kilometers in just under 2,000 RPM, so there's really no need to tramp it. Plus there's enough torque from the 3.2, you know, for most applications. Everything about the vehicle, I just love driving daily. Everything that, you know, everything you touch feels nice and solid. The steering wheel is light when it needs to be light. It's heavy when it needs to be heavy. In parking situations, the steering actually feels lighter when I park, and then at heavier speeds it actually feels like it does add weight to it. So fuel consumption is not really the strong point of the specific engine. I mean, I average 10.9 on a good day, 10.9, maybe 11.2 when I'm really hoeing it. And that's just me, single driver, no weight or load in the back, one person, no passengers. I get about 10.9 liters per 100 kilometer on my normal cycle. It's been like that since I've had the vehicle. The fuel consumption hasn't really worsened or, you know, got better either way. So on a tank I'm lucky to get about maybe 650 to 700 kilometers on a single tank. It's a big tank, but yeah, that's what I get as a range. Yeah,
The Wildtrak just feel it. Also with the being it a double cab, you do sit fairly high off the road. I mean, your visibility is excellent. You can always plan ahead. You do have to also plan your braking ahead, because with a bigger vehicle you have to brake, especially this one, you have to brake ahead much earlier. And it's definitely not a small car, in terms of the braking distance. The back has drums and the front has discs, so not also the greatest stopping power, but I mean the brake feel, the feel through the brakes is a very very positive. It's easy to modulate the feeling through the brake. Very easy to modulate. Even the distance between the brake and the accelerator is perfect for my foot. I don't have any aches or pains or fatigue on my leg or my Achilles tendon. Every time I lift off the accelerator, press the brake, it's just the perfect distance for me. As I mentioned earlier, the feel from the indicator stock is just a nice solid weighted feel. Yeah, everything, the drive is just beautiful. I really love this vehicle, and it's given me 5 years plus good service. The driving, I actually look forward to driving the vehicle every time I can. Even though I do drive it daily on the weekends, I drive another vehicle, but I end up missing this one here on the weekends. Yeah, so from a driving perspective, yes, it's not a sports car. When you do take turns, it does wallow. I mean, you have to think about the hardware behind it. It is a rear-wheel drive, front-engined vehicle, just like a 3 Series. Okay, I'm pushing it there. It obviously doesn't feel like a 3 Series, but yeah. Engines in the front, drive wheels at the back. So it's sporty enough. Yes, I've got a sporty enough. Yes, I've got a sport mode here in the gearbox, which every time if I press it down, keeps your revs up. And hear the tone of that 5-cylinder. I love the tone of that 5-cylinder. Just so more characterful, than your run-of-the-mill 4 cylinders. I've also got a manual mode here on the gearbox. Up, down. It takes maybe a good half a second to actually select the gear. There, can you hear? There's the other one. About majority of the time you leave it in drive, the gearbox knows what to do. Shifts are seamless. If I've got my music playing, I don't even know that the vehicle is doing shifts. For me, the 6-speed is perfect. Yes, Ford has made the 10-speed automatic gearbox for the bi-turbo and then the new shape Ranger, but really this 6-speed, it was already, I feel, very well programmed, well suited to this engine. Yeah, that's my driving impression of my Wildtrak. That we've come to the end of the review of the Wildtrak. Like I've said, the last 5.5 years has been a very pleasurable experience with the vehicle. Apart from the fuel tank bracket coming apart, there hasn't really been much issues with the vehicle. The question is, will it give me the same experience in the next 5.5 years? Is debatable. We know that this particular engine is not the most reliable engine. We know that the Ford Ranger in general is not the most reliable double cab that you can buy. But from personal experience, like I said, so far it's been good. The next 5 years or so, we'll see how it goes. I will do another video where I detail the cost of ownership, servicing, parts, etc. So I can detail that for you guys. Yes, the Ford Ranger is a good vehicle, but it's your Hilux. It'll give you definitely many more years of reliable service than your Ford Ranger would. So will your Isuzu KB 300. The question is, will the Hilux be giving you that service, or will it be giving somebody across the border that service? Your KB, it's a safe choice. It's not a high test risk. The engine is bulletproof, but it's also very agricultural. And the vehicle itself is just very boring in general to drive. Also, if I had to compare, apples with apples, the brand new KB that you can buy off the showroom floors at the moment is more comparable to this T8 in terms of spec and infotainment tech. than it is to the new T9 Ranger, which basically blows all the competition into the weeds. Cool, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and thank you for tuning into Jay's Motor World.